Tineco S5 Pro versus Dreame H12 Pro. One of these handles sticky real-life messes without leaving you scrubbing the roller after. The other looks great on paper and frustrates you by week 3. The deciding factor here isn't suction numbers. It's what happens after you finish cleaning. If you've got pets, kids, and daily kitchen spills, one of these fits the way you actually live. If your floors are mostly light dust and the occasional spill, the other is easier to justify. Both linked below in the description.
How do they actually clean?
This is where the Tineco S5 Pro earns its reputation. The eye loop sensor isn't just marketing fluff. It reads how dirty the floor is and ramps up suction and water on its own when it hits a sticky patch. That means muddy paw prints, dried on syrup, salt tracked in from the driveway. It goes into turbo without you thinking about it. There's one review that stuck with me. Someone with a golden retriever, a long-haired cat, and a construction worker husband, and the floors came out looking restored after the first pass. That's a real-world test, not a demo kitchen. The Dreame H12 Pro is no slouch here either. 16 kilopascals of suction, dual edge brushes, and it handles spilled milk, yogurt, crumbs, and pet hair in one pass without complaint. Where it doesn't quite match the Tineco is on those caked-on, layered dirt situations. It's more of a daily maintenance machine. Vacuum mode, mop mode, done. If you want a tool that auto-detects a disaster zone and attacks it, the Tineco is a step ahead. If your messes are mostly fresh spills and dust, the Dreame keeps up just fine. Now, maintenance. This is where opinions split hard. Both self-clean at the dock. Both ask you to rinse the dirty water tank and pull hair out of the strainer. The big difference is drying. The Dreame H12 Pro uses hot air to dry the roller after each clean cycle, which is a genuinely big deal. It cuts down on that musty, damp mop smell that builds up if you forget to pull the brush out to air dry. The Tineco doesn't have hot drying on this model, so you're expected to pop the roller off and stand it up yourself. Skip that step a few times and you'll know.
That said, the Tineco's self-clean cycle has a longer track record of actually getting the brush and tubing clean. The community's pretty consistent on that. The Dreame self-clean is convenient, but a few owners mention the hose still looks grimy after, and you end up using the included scrub brush anyway. So one is more hygienic by design, the other is more thorough when it runs. Pick your trade-off.
Reliability is where I have to be straight with you. Both brands have horror stories, and you should know what they look like. On the Tineco side, the most common long-term complaint is the machine getting chatty about needing a clean cycle even when it's spotless. Sensors getting fussy, and a small plastic piece near the charging contact coming loose over months of use. There's an opinion floating around about a unit that started leaking after about 6 months, and customer service didn't move fast enough. Not the norm, but it happens. The Dreame has its own pattern. A few owners have gone through multiple units, with the clean water tank cracking or the dock refusing to charge out of the box. When it works, people love it. When it fails, it tends to fail early. Customer support gets praised for being quick to send replacements, which matters, but you shouldn't have to use that lifeline in month 1. Honestly, neither feels bulletproof. The Tineco has more years on the market and a slightly more predictable failure curve. The Dreame is newer to this category, and the build quality varies more unit to unit. If long-term peace of mind is your top priority, the Tineco edges this, but only by a hair. Battery and tanks. The Tineco runs up to 35 minutes with an 800 milliliter clean water tank. The Dreame matches the runtime and bumps the tank to 900 milliliters. In practice, both will handle 1,000 to 1,500 square feet on a charge if you're moving steadily. Bigger homes, you're refilling once and possibly recharging. The Dreame's slightly bigger tank means one less trip to the sink, which adds up. On maneuverability, the Dreame has the trick that Tineco doesn't. The 180 lie flat design that slides right under couches and beds. The Tineco won't go that low, though its edge brush hugs baseboards beautifully on one side. Both are self-propelled and easy on the wrists. Price and value. They're not in the same range. The Dreame H12 Pro typically lands noticeably lower than the Tineco S5 Pro, and it tends to see deeper discounts during sales events. For the money, you're getting hot air drying, a bigger tank, dual edge brushes, and lie flat reach. The Tineco asks for more and gives you the smarter sensor, the more refined self-clean, and a longer reputation in the category. One is the budget-conscious convenience pick. The other is the premium daily driver. Both make sense, just for different buyers. Here's the call. For most of you watching this, the Tineco S5 Pro, the eye loop sensor and the more thorough self-clean make it the better long-term pick when life gets messy daily. That's where the money goes to work. If your floors are mostly light dust and fresh spills, the winner is overkill. Get the Dreame H12 Pro and pocket the difference. And if you hate dealing with damp roller smell or you need that lie flat reach under furniture, the Dreame's the smarter buy. No fluff. The Dreame tends to see deeper discounts during sales events, so worth waiting if you're not in a rush. And you, which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments. Both linked below in the description.